Hello, beautiful, sassy ladies. So today I wanted to talk about how you can get the man and the relationship you want. And the main thing we're going to focus on is how to make a man fear losing you. So he wants to commit to you 100%, go all in, but do it on his own without any pushing, without any forcing, without any tactics, no ultimatums, game playing, all of that stuff. Okay, we want a man to want to be with you, to choose you on his own. So if you guys have any questions as well, please leave your questions in the comments area. I want to help you out if you have any questions as well. Now, before we get started, if you're serious about getting the man you want and the relationship you want, you may want to consider getting coaching with me, getting some one-on-one coaching with me, where we'll sit down and we'll put together a personalized plan for your particular situation so you can really get the man and the relationship you want. All you have to do is go to the URL, katiecoach.com. That is katiecoach.com, and fill out that little form there and we can talk, okay? So when it comes to getting the man that you want and the relationship that you want, we all know when a man is interested in us or into us, right? We all know that if he's interested in us, he'll be texting us, he'll be wanting to spend time with us, he'll be stepping up in those ways. But the biggest problem that I see women have is a man who clearly cares about you, right? He cares about you. He is texting you, he's calling you, he's talking to you, he's wanting to spend time with you, and yet he doesn't want a relationship. He wants to keep his options open so he can date other people, right? That's what he says. Now, when we hear that, when women hear that, of course, we're going to be terrified, okay? This is a guy that you want to be with. This is a guy who's amazing, right? Who you want a relationship with. So when he says, yeah, you're amazing, but I still want to date other people, I want to keep my options open, that triggers fear in us, right? So a lot of women, we're allowing that fear to dictate our actions. And a lot of times we're in reaction to our fear when we're communicating with a man. And we fear that if we just keep doing what we're doing, that he will find somebody else, right? If he's still looking, right, he's still in the market, he could find another woman and leave you, okay? And we hear these stories where men do that, where, there's a man who just won't commit to you for whatever reason, and then the next woman he meets, he instantly commits to her and marries her, right? And then it leaves us feeling abandoned. It leaves us feeling like, what is wrong with me that he couldn't do that with me? He couldn't commit to me. And that is a real fear that a lot of us have, and it makes perfect sense. Okay, so I'm speaking to you ladies who are in this particular situation and you really want to know how to make him fear losing you so he actually wants to commit to you. There's just a few things, right? So first, if you've been following me, I talk a lot about being a high value woman, and here is why. A high value woman is a woman that men fear losing, okay? And that's because a high value woman always operates from a place of security, their own internal security, and from a place of abundance, okay? Not fear. They don't operate from fear, right? Because when you come from that place, then we run the risk of appearing needy, desperate, clingy, really unattractive, really. And that's what makes men pull away, right? So a high value woman understands that deep down, that you can't operate that way with a man, because that will get you the opposite result of what you want. So here's what you need to do, and here's what I want to offer you do is, first thing is to don't allow fear to get in the way of your emotional intimacy and your happiness with a man. Gain the security that if he cares, he will not disappear. Because I know a lot of you are afraid to lean back, to stop moving, stop texting and trying to get closer to him, and instead to lean back, because you're afraid that if you lean back, if you appear less interested, that he will lose interest. He will just disappear because you're not giving him that confirmation. But let me tell you, that is fear talking. That is not actually what's going on. When you are worried about, you leaning back will scare him away, it's really you projecting your own insecurities and your fears onto him. That is not what's going to happen. Trust me. If he cares about you, he really cares about you, he will not disappear. It will be very difficult for a man to disappear just because you're leaning back. Okay, this works. Trust me, it works. Okay, number 2, drop over communicating your boundaries and your expectations. See, a lot of us, when we're afraid, and the fear comes up because we have a great time with a guy, right? Sometimes we have a great time. We go on a great date. We spend a great weekend with him. But yet he still doesn't want to commit to us. And that's what's triggering the fear. We think, well, we're great together. We're obviously great together. So why wouldn't you want to commit to me? I don't get it, right? And then coming from that place, and from that place, we want to over communicate. We want to over set boundaries of, okay, this is fair, this isn't fair. I don't want to have to, keep doing this in fear that I'm going to lose out, you're going to disappear. We're trying to over communicate that our stance on things because of that fear. So we start to put down boundaries and expectations a bit too much, over communicating it a bit too much. That's one option. And then there's the other option 2. Some women don't say anything at all because they're afraid. Just initiating that conversation, asking him, where are we? What's going on? I'm confused. Just initiating that conversation, they are terrified about, because they're worried that just talking about it will scare the man away. Okay, that's not great either, because that puts you in a state of passivity. Okay, you're passive then. That's not great either. Okay, so basically I want you to drop over communicating your boundaries and your expectations. And what you want to do instead is to focus on the actions, your actions towards him and his actions towards you, and stop allowing words or language, over languaging, to get in the way, okay, to act as a barrier between the intimacy and the connection that you are developing by spending time together. That has already started. Okay, so remember, actions trump words every single time. Actions trump words. And number 3, instead of focusing on him, okay, a lot of my clients are super focused on the man that they want. Instead of pouring all that attention and energy onto him, I want you instead to pour that back onto yourself. Okay, ask yourself, what expectations, what needs do I want him to fulfill in me? And instead of going to him to get it, give it to yourself. Okay, give it to yourself, whether that is, if you want him to admit you're dating, you want him to appreciate you more, you want him to, be there for you when you want him to be there for you, give that to yourself. Give that, whatever expectation it is, give that to yourself. Be resourceful. And that's how we become more emotionally mature adults. And that's how we can evolve into a high value woman that you love being and that he wants to be with. He will naturally want to be with by being resourceful. Okay, can't expect a man to fulfill every single one of our needs. It's just not going to happen. Right? So drop some of those expectations. Now, I want to share an interesting story with you in a minute, but before I get into that, I just want to remind you that if you're truly serious about getting the man that you want and getting the relationship that you want, you will probably like to apply for coaching with me, get one-on-one coaching with me, where we'll sit down and really look at your particular situation, okay? Because every situation is a little bit different. and I will help put together a personalized plan for you to get the man you want and the relationship you want. All you have to do is go to katiecoach.com and fill out that little form, set up a time with me, and we can talk one-on-one, and we can get to know each other a little bit more, and I can get to know your situation a little bit more. So that's katiecoach.com. Okay, so now back to the story, right? So what triggered me to create this video and do this Facebook Live is I was having a conversation with one of my clients, and what she really wanted was for her man to say that they were dating. Okay, it was really nagging at her, the fact that he couldn't say that they were dating. Now, here was a man that was doing all the right things, right? He was texting her daily. He was wanting to spend time with her. They were spending time with each other every single week. Right? He was stepping up in the right ways through his actions. And yet she, instead of focusing on the actions that he was doing, she directly went to the thing he wasn't doing, which is admitting through verbal confirmation that they were dating. I really had to point that out to her, that that's a little bit ridiculous, because you have to be really careful. And some of you are doing this too. You're missing the forest for the trees, right? You're nitpicking at these little things, at mostly words, it seems like, right? And this goes the other way. There are some women who their man is beautiful with his words, poetic, okay? Maybe he's like the next Shakespeare, and he's writing pages and pages of love letters to you and talking about his feelings and how into you he is and how amazing you are through his words, right? And yet not doing anything in his actions, like not actually spending any time with you, not actually taking you out on dates, right? Not doing anything with you, but saying a lot of beautiful, sweet words. That's pretty bad, okay? Because the actions, he's not stepping up through his actions. And if actions trump words, that means that guy isn't really as into you as he is really saying. Okay, that's the truth. And we have to be able to accept where that guy is. I was seeing this one guy, and I was really into him. I remember he telling me, how about on our next date, let's meet in Paris, the city of love. And don't worry, I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for the flights there, pay for our accommodation. I'll take care of everything. You don't have to worry. Okay. And I was smitten. So I was like, wow, right? This guy's willing to go all out for me. And then guess what? Nothing happened. He didn't follow through. He disappeared. Another client of mine, she had a guy tell her initially, hey, look, in a couple of months, I'm going to be in the same country where you are. And hey, when I come over, let's go out, let's hang out, let's go on a road trip, let's do stuff together. I will have so much fun. And then guess what? Nothing happened. He disappeared after that conversation, right? Didn't follow through. There was another guy. There's so many of these cases I can think of. There was another guy. This guy said to me, this is a personal situation. He said, when you're in the country, hey, let's go on a road trip together. Like, it'd be so much fun. You're going to love doing this. You're going to love doing that. We're going to have so much fun together going on this road trip. And I really liked him. So I was like, wow, I was getting excited. I was like, oh, wow, this confirms he really likes me too, right? And then guess what? Nothing happened, okay? So there's a recurring theme here, right? It's so easy for a man to say, oh, let's do this. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of this and that. Hey, next month or in a couple of months when I'm less busy, then I'm going to plan this thing with you. It's so easy to say. And he can be so enthusiastic, right? So fully into it when he's telling you. And then what happens, right? Nothing happens. So many the time, so often they just disappear. Those guys who made those promises, literally right after they made those promises, not the promises, words, I guess, They just disappeared. Never heard from them again. Okay, no plans were made. They never actually, did anything after that. So just telling you girls, actions trump words. Okay, it goes both ways, right? If a guy is not saying that you're dating, but he is stepping up weekly with you, great. Look at his actions. That's what is most important anyway, right? When we're in a relationship with a man, it's about what he's doing on a daily basis with us, not just the pretty words he's saying. And then if there's a guy who is telling you beautiful, beautiful words, but nothing to really show for it, he's not actually taking you out on dates, he's not actually spending any time with you, not looking good, not looking real good. And we just have to be honest with ourselves there. Okay, that's why I wanted to share this video and share these stories with you. Now, by the way, before I forget, if you're truly serious about getting the man you want and the love that you want, and you believe your relationship and your connection is special, and you really want to make sure you're doing the right things to make him want to commit to you instead of what you're currently doing, then you might want to consider getting coaching with me, one-on-one coaching with me, and we'll sit down and put together a personalized plan for your particular situation, and then I can help you a lot more. That's really where I'm at, right? I want to help you guys on a more personal level. So all you have to do is go to katiecoach.com and set up a time there to chat with me, okay? So let's recap, right? Let's recap what we have talked about in this video today. Okay, so we have to be conscious that a high-value woman is a woman that men naturally will fear losing because she always operates from a place of internal security and abundance. And the reason men fear losing her is because he knows through her actions, he knows that if he doesn't step up to claim her, to lock her down, another man will. Okay, she is always communicating that through her actions all the time. So of course, naturally, he's going to want to claim her for himself. He doesn't want to lose her to other men, right? On the flip side, if you're operating from a place of fear, what he's going to take away from your actions is you're a sure thing. You're not going anywhere because you're more afraid of losing him than he is of losing you. So his actions are not going to change. You know, if you keep leaning into a man, he's just going to keep saying, look, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to commit to you. I'm not sure, right? Because men want their freedom. They want their freedom to choose who they want. And he can't feel that feeling to choose if you're constantly leaning into him and constantly operating from a place of fear. Okay, so the 3 points: don't allow fear to get in the way of your intimacy and your happiness. Okay, drop over communicating your boundaries and your expectations. Okay, stop allowing words, right? Words to get in the way. Look at actions. Actions trump words every single time. And lastly, be self-focused. Put all of that energy and attention you're putting onto him, put it back onto you, and ask yourself, what expectations do I want him to meet? And how can I meet those expectations myself? Okay, how can I be resourceful and fulfill my own needs? Okay, those are my tips. Okay, apply them, put them to work for you. And thank you for tuning in, and, you know, just keep going. And of course, don't forget, if you're truly serious about that man, if you truly feel like you have a connection that's special and that you really want to have a good go at seeing if it can develop into something more serious and more committed, then apply for coaching with me. Go to katiecoach.com and let's work together, okay? I want to help you on an individual level to really help you get the results you want in a lot faster way. Okay, that's all from me. I love you guys. I will talk to you real soon. Have a great day, everybody.